Denver Athletic Club, this is the WPH Race for 8, brought to you by Handball, and the men's quarterfinals as Luis Moreno goes up against one of his biggest recent foes, Nadia Alvarado. My name is Dave Vincent. John Bike to my right, Dave Fink to my left. And guys, I say rivalry, but sometimes that word is thrown out there. They played to start season number 3. Excuse me, I would say the season number 3, stop number 2 at the U.S. Open. They played in the finals there. And for a while, it was Nadia Alvarado that would defeat Luis Moreno all those times. And then Luis took over. Nadia got one more win, and then Luis seems to kind of have Nadia's number. But there is a rivalry, right?
Well, since the race started, Luis has won all but one of their matchups, including the first ever Race for 8 event in Coeur d'Alene, where Luis beat Nadia 21-7, 21-17 in that final. Nadia has never won a final, but I will pose this trivia question for you, and you will be able to answer it at halftime. Name all the players that have ever defeated Luis Moreno in race play. I'll give you a hint. There's 6.
How am I going to focus on the match? I'm just going to be thinking about that the whole time. Another interesting stat, I thought you might have been going this way also. Something's really got to give here, because Moreno is dominating the recent history, but if the question was, name one player who has never, ever lost in a Race for 8 quarterfinal, why don't you fill that answer in right now? Well,
Nadia Alvarado is one, and Paul Brady is the other.
Brady, of course.
But you're right. I've always felt, and having played Nadia quite a bit in the quarterfinals, that he's almost unbeatable. It's like he really hits his stride after getting one match under his belt. He's fresh and he's comfortable.
So this setup is about as good as it can get for him right now.
Yeah.
He's trying to pull off the upset.
I'm expecting fireworks here, and I'm not talking about yelling, but just great play.
Now is Nadia Alvarado's fitness back up to form?
Just look at them there. Certainly they're both looking pretty hot, actually. But yeah, I'd say, yeah, I stayed on top of it all year long.
We will have the referee all mic'd up here in a few seconds, as we are waiting for Sean Linney to call the score. We're at 0-0. Ooh, that ball almost skipped in. You don't think that Luis has some pressure here?
Absolutely. He knows he's expected to win, but he's well aware of Nadia's ability and capabilities.
And these guys are very similar players. The one advantage Luis really has is that first step. You saw Nadia unable to track that ball down. It wasn't that great of a kill shot from Luis.
Yeah, I thought that ended up making the difference, that and the referee. In a simple green close second game, that's Luis, just because of the physicality, has a little more margin for error. He could occasionally not
1-0
hit the shot exactly where he's aiming, but his power was enough to earn the point. Nadia doesn't have that anymore. He has to be right on top of everything he does.
What a great shot from Luis, who just keeps his wrist completely parallel with the floor there.
2-0.
Shovels a hard paddle kill.
Short.
Luis's camp knows just how important this event is. His coach flew in this morning to be here. Fred Lewis in the building to support Luis. John, would you say that's similar to a kind of an Andy Murray and a Yvonne Lendl type of relationship? Fred's this guy that is so accomplished, and Luis looks up to him.
3-0.
That's what it sounds like to me. I wasn't aware we were allowed to make tennis references today.
Short.
That could be, is that a finable offense? Or
No, it's.
Oh, we are allowed to do that?
I think it's great.
Second serve.
Luis off to a nice start here.
Luis looked tense to start it all off, but now has settled in rather quickly.
Side out.
Luis hits those deep second serve cracks, and they're almost harder to return than his power serve.
0-3.
In some ways they are.
Nadia with his first chance to unload, and great serve, but Luis handles it.
Nice.
Tweener. Short hop, free swing. That's not as easy as he just made that look.
Hands together for Nadia Alvarado winning that rally. Had a tweener It looked like he was going to give up on the next shot, like didn't think he made it to the front wall and then stuck in there. I think he heard your
1-3.
wife yelling.
That's possible.
At him.
She's watching a baseball game, and I don't.
Well, she's a
in
multitasker.
Victorville right now, and
Oh, that's that hop we talked about, Dave. We see that in practice all the time. It'll take you right out of your shoes.
Well, you know it's coming, but it just has such a hard turn that there's nothing you can do about it, even if you anticipate it.
3-1.
I'm watching the live stream, also watching the match live on the high definition cameras, and I get to see everything as an instant replay because of that.
Side out.
So I got to see that last shot from Moreno twice.
1-3.
Nadia Alvarado, 40 years of age.
taking it to the roof. Don't see a lot of that with these two.
You got two very aggressive players playing each other in a 40-shot rally.
Appeal the serve.
And how does Nadi remember to appeal a serve after
After
the
a rally
One
like
disagree. It was close, sorry.
One agrees, one disagrees. I like what you did earlier, John, where you just went with that, what I believe is
two
just the correct
serves.
call.
Yeah,
just-
if you
if you
can't
felt-
be sure when it's that close.
Yeah.
You don't have the magic radar eye. And
3-1.
after a rally like this, so I'd say let it carry on. I did that on an that would have been an ace or short. So two serves is a good compromise.
Right.
After a rally like this, I think it's
Short,
fine to
second serve.
let the rally stand.
You know, Dave and I have talked about that a few times.
Great serve from Luis.
Mhm.
Point.
And as fast as these courts are, that ball picks up so much speed as it comes around that back wall. Even if you get it back, there's not much you can do with it. That time, Nadi unable to get
4-1.
it back.
Yeah, see
me,
how fast that ball
point.
comes off that
It's
back
just
wall?
higher than he expects. Yeah.
It actually
Pinch-
pops up, and
Mhm.
Nadi's behind his back shot. He had to jump to try to get to it.
Now, I'm not a big stickler on foot faults, but I think
5-1.
Luis is going enough over the line here that it is an advantage to him, and maybe it should be called. Not that time. but
Short.
It's a minor one I would have overlooked.
Second serve.
When Luis serves that power serve, he's right in the middle of the court, which is right on top of the referee, so it's hard for the ref to see that front foot clearly.
Yeah, and it's by the time his front foot's landed, he's got to look for the
Side
ball
out.
crossing the short line. There's very little time in between to see both.
Don't you find that a little too close?
Yeah, I
Yes.
did.
And referee just
I
said
understand.
side
It was
out.
kind of a gimme. Nadi, you were too close. I think you know, but. Yeah, but you still could have made that shot, and it would have been.
I
over.
was surprised
So,
Luis didn't say more there and
1-5.
went right back to return serve. I would have thought we would have seen more.
It would have been worth it, I think, for Luis to follow up on that for the future.
Short.
I think Luis being that mellow, Sean will
Second
be
serve.
fine with continuing to warn Nadi like he did there, which has the effect of nothing at all. Nadi's just blah, blah, blah. If you don't call avoidable, I'm going to keep doing it.
You notice it was very heated when these two played
Side out.
in the first ever race final. There was a lot of congestion, a lot of chirping with the referee. Since then, these guys say very little when they play against each other.
5-1.
There's that foot on the front and then the backside. Looked like Luis was okay
Point.
there, but actually there was chirping in that match between each other. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw
6-1.
Luis Moreno really getting vocal.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of chirping.
Short.
I don't think either guy really liked it, and I think they watched the tapes and they probably consciously made that
Second
decision to not let that happen again.
Luis didn't like how Nadi was dropping the ball. Nadi didn't like how Luis was throwing it back to him. There was a lot of weird things going on.
Oh, can't miss that.
You know, John, Luis puts just a little extra MPHs on that ball that comes off that side wall, and Nadi normally tees off on those, but if you're not seeing that extra
7-1.
5 to 10,
Well, he does. He plays Chris and I, so
right,
he's seeing it.
set it to the wrong guy, I think.
That was,
You know, as aggressive
well,
as,
Chris, I should say.
aggressive
Point.
as these guys are, you're still seeing a
your
lot more
first timeout.
rallies.
It's a good
1
timeout
minute.
there.
8-1.
Yeah, they're not giving it up right off the serve return. They're having to earn their setups. They're both hitting effective, hard, 4-foot-high drives for a little while, and then someone cracks.
There's a timeout being called by Nadi Alvarado, who calls it and stays in the court. It's kind of a normal thing for these guys to do that. They want to stay in the court, and in about 20 seconds go by, they go, I think I need some water. Because you're not really out of shape. It's just this, you start to recoup really quick. You say, I need to get some water in my system here. And then they leave the court. You have all the right intentions to stay on there, but this altitude just works just so many different ways against you. And the only one that looks really great right now is Emmett Peixoto at this altitude.
8-1.
And maybe Paul Brady.
Paul Brady looked great this morning.
That's a nice shot. Nadi did his job. He had him shoulder high, closer to 25-foot line.
9-1. Point.
And John, this is not at all what I expected.
No,
from Nadi.
This is not his
10-1.
typical Saturday morning
No.
start.
I mean, granted, Luis is playing extremely well, but Nadi just not moving that well right now. And of course, as I say that, an amazing get.
Was amazing.
Side out.
But you
Almost
see how
rolled that
hard
one as
Nadi
well.
had to work there to
Yeah.
win a rally.
I thought he waddied that get. Let's look at the replay from Linda Manning back in our fun bus that holds all that equipment. Satellite, high definition, camera cables.
Yeah, to be sure, Luis is playing great, but maybe 4 skips by Nadi so far. Each one of those a potential side out, potential change of momentum. I liked it was. We had the low angle first time, I thought.
I thought he got it live.
Thank you.
As a player, though, it can be very difficult to tell.
Okay. 1-10.
One serves 10, Nadi in the box.
Short.
Now, Dave, this is best
Second
2 out of
ball
3 to
looked like it
21,
skidded.
correct?
No, this is still the quarterfinals, so it's one game.
Oh, that's
of
right. Yeah,
25.
we have semis coming up. We had
So-
such a long break there between the last quarterfinal match. I
Second serve.
was under the impression we're actually in the
We
semis already.
changed rounds, yeah.
Jeez.
This is not a typical quarterfinal matchup. Amazing draw with Lennon,
Yeah.
Brady, Alvarado, and Moreno.
Well, this is a U.S.
on the
Open
same side.
finals this year.
Yep.
And then you had
Lennon and Brady have been
also-
multiple finalist
yeah.
matchups.
10-1.
John, Nadi is crossing Luis quite a bit on big setups. I don't know if you've noticed that. We already saw some contact on a huge setup earlier.
Nah.
That's a nice flag kill from Nadi.
I like
Side
that.
out.
You know, you've seen in the past, Nadi lets the first game go and then he makes a hard charge in the second game. We've seen that at the
110.
U.S. Open this year, but he doesn't have that luxury here. So he'll have to fight his way back into this game, at least get himself within range by halftime.
Let's see if he realizes at 15 that it is halftime and he's not going to 21.
And that's a smart
side
play
out.
from Luis, who knows that Nadi's charging in, and he just rips that with a huge hop right at Nadi's feet. And that's a hard shot to return when you're moving forward and the ball is coming at you that fast with hop at your feet.
That's a beautiful thing
10-1.
when you're locked into that height that makes the first bounce right at the 20-foot line. Brady's exceptional with that also. And that's his perfect 2-wall driving height there, maybe between 3 and 4 feet high.
If you're an Alvarado fan, you don't like to see that sort of half smirk from Nadi. Usually things aren't going well.
11-1.
I am an Alvarado fan and I don't like it.
Okay. Oh, Luis
Beautiful
just
serve.
ripping that serve. That's the
Point,
best serve
deal.
I've seen this entire weekend.
Both disagree. Sorry.
I take that back. It was the best short serve I've seen all
Second
weekend.
serve.
How about that?
Great return from Nadi.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh. That's the angle only Dave Vincent can do on purpose, and Wayne Salo.
111.
It's like Nadi had a racket. in his left hand.
I mean,
there.
John, what would you compare that to in
Splat.
another sport? Maybe hitting the ball into the woods,
Squash.
and then the ball bounces back into the fairway when it hits a tree?
That's close, yeah. Yeah, that's. I don't think I could do better than that.
It's like Tiger hitting one down the bike path, cart path, and having it go 700 yards. I mean, quote unquote, hitting it down the bike.
Yeah.
We both know a fan threw it onto the course, but
Sour grapes, you haters.
oh, it's just jealousy, John. It's not hate. Naughty. Look at this. This is what Moreno will do to you. I thought he was going to get Naughty there, but
Point.
he'll
For
sneak.
all
let
purposes, he did, yeah.
yeah, he let that ball
Beautiful.
drop and he sneaks it down there.
Yeah, that was either the outright winner or for Nadi to get it back and to be totally out of position. Yeah, Luis is showing all facets of the game right now.
Short.
See
A
him
lot
start.
of lopsided matches here this morning in the quarterfinals. Didn't expect that, particularly in the Emmett Peixoto Mondo Ortiz
Second
match,
serve.
and certainly not in this one either.
Short.
Quite
Side
an
out.
aggressive second serve there.
I think Luis buys into that Pete Sampras
112.
mojo that you just go for it on your second serve. If you double fault, you double fault. He wants to just continue to apply pressure. I've never seen Nadi hit a shot like that before.
Needs to snap this one. Not quite in position to do it though.
Oh,
That's-
inside out paddle, amazing
Side out.
shot.
Well, Nadi looks to be enjoying himself anyway.
Okay, you get like not too long.
Sean's saying you get not too long on a
Side out,
headband
12-1.
change.
I like that
I like it too.
interpretation. That's, I'm going to borrow that.
12-1.
How long do I get? Not too long.
Now this is interesting. Fred Lewis, who came to support Luis, is not even watching this match. I don't really
There's
know.
Fred Lewis on the. Yeah, I guess he just he put in his words of wisdom and said, "Right, Luis has got this."
Well, what they're doing, Fred's actually watching. They have a big screen TV down there
Oh.
with audio. So
Okay.
hello, Fred Lewis. If you can wave to us, that'd be great. I know you're
It'd be
watching.
great to
I'm
get
sure
a
that's
shot
what's
of him there.
happening, yeah.
waving
It's
back.
actually, he's courtside
Yeah.
watching Luis, but on the TV. So he flew here to do what he could have done in his cabana back home. But, you know, Luis does come out and he gives
12-1.
advice. It's a great feeling to know somebody cares enough to get on a plane
Boy,
and
it's a
come
big
out.
serve. Great angle too. Perfect angle to
Yeah, I
see
agree
it.
with you, Dave. And also, John, that was an amazing
13-1.
serve.
Short.
He had Nadi going the wrong way.
Luis looks completely
Second
comfortable.
serve.
You're going to see a lot of different looks from him, I think, when he is comfortable like this.
So it's safe to assume, just from looking at the watch here, that our runner was actually a walker. Hope he didn't get lost.
14-1.
Here it is. This is half point.
Screen ball.
Luis states his goals for the race for 8 to
14-1.
win every battle plus the war. Lists Denver as one of his favorite tournaments, along with Alaska, Plummer, and the U.S. Open.
All great tournaments. Nice dig right there from Nadi, but Nadi's doing more digging than actually dictating until I said that, of course.
Side out.
Now, Luis should have won that rally. We'll see if Nadi can get some kind of momentum.
Well, it was Luis dictating 99% of the rally until Nadi decided to
114.
step up and do that 2-wall pass.
Oh,
And
Side
John,
out.
do you think Nadi has to play that for a two-way shot? I mean, you can't just expect that to come off
14-1.
the revolving door. You have to play it for a straight out shot as well, don't you think?
that was just so close. I think a tiny bit of a wrinkle by Luis is what threw him.
Now Luis serving left-handed.
That's
Hold
as
it.
as we discussed. He may be practicing this in
What?
anticipation of the semi.
I told you, Dave,
14-1.
you're going to see everything from Luis here because he does feel, you can tell he's comfortable. You're going to see everything that he has to offer. And this is the right time for him to bring out this left, which I think it's the best left serve in the game.
Well,
he just doesn't use it much.
I've played him quite a bit, and I've never seen him hit a good left-handed serve.
Well, I play him more than you do, and he does it exclusively with me, and I hate it.
Short.
I'm curious to see, because I've heard two.
Well, he hasn't seen it. I see it all the time.
Because you guys,
no, he serves it against me in practice. I've never seen him
when
hit
you
a good
guys
one.
disagree, the stat tracker shows you are both right exactly 50% of the time. This is going to be a very important tiebreaker to see if Luis does in fact have an effective left-handed serve.
Well, he hasn't so far, so this 50%
so
over
far
here
we're leaning,
is
trending David Fink.
That's hashtag David Fink. We are going to take a quick break. 3 minutes, and we'll be back in just a few. We might be doing this from the parking lot. But we'll have more in just a bit. For John Pike, Dave Fink, Linda Manning, as well as Jeff Castor, those that are helping out with the broadcast, stick with us. We'll have more action right around the corner at racefor8.com.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
Back to the courts as we get ready for the second half. Denver Athletic Club, this is the WPH Edel Handball Race for 8 Tour. Stop number 5 out of 6. Salt Lake City coming up next month, where they're going to have $20,000 for first place in the pro division. And those that want to play in that tournament, you can. There's an adjacent tournament with prize money as well. But these top Elite 8 pros are vying for points to get invited to the big TPC in SLC, to include Nadia Alvarado and Luis Moreno.
Luis Moreno comes back with the bagel, no gloves. He's on the court. The 3 minutes is up. At least 1 point or a timeout right now.
Well, this gives us an opportunity for you both to now answer the trivia question that was posed.
But first, Dave, let me just tell you this. Luis was assessed with a timeout being taken away, which he won't be taking anyway. And Sean Linning said you were a minute late, so you've been assessed with a timeout.
Wow, it's impressive that Sean knows that rule.
I thought the rule was if he wasn't here to call timeout, it would be 1 point for Nadia.
Oh, so I guess neither of us know the rule.
I could be wrong. I've mostly been thinking about that trivia question. I'm going to start with John Iglesias.
Okay, that's one.
Are we going to tag team this, Dave? Or
No, I don't know what the question was.
Name,
I just like to hear it again.
but I'd
Who's
like
got
to
the
hear
best guns
all
in the
the
tour?
answers all at once.
Okay.
Name the 6 players that have beat Luis Moreno in race play.
Naughty Alvarado Jr., Paul Brady, Alan Garner, of course. How many is that?
4.
Probably Lenning.
Nope.
That's wow.
So
Probably
it's over.
Paul Brady,
I think I said Brady.
Alan Garner.
Yeah, good. You got to get.
How many have we done so far? How many?
We're still on 4 with 2
Charlie
repeats.
Shanks 3 times.
Oh, beauty, yeah.
That's 5.
He's gone out of sight, out of mind with that guy. But boy, did he impress when he was over here.
Amazing player.
Alan Shanks.
So we bet you're up to 5 then.
Well, how many were we supposed to have? 6.
Yeah,
Alvarado once.
I got that one.
Wow. What
Boy,
a
that's
shot
tough to
from
deal with.
Luis. And that was a good serve from Naughty. Anytime you can force your opponent to hit from 37 feet with their offhand, you've done your job.
And Robbie McCarthy.
That's right.
Ah,
Very good.
I had to think back to the last stop, and Luis is going for a fist pump, and that ball was short.
Well short.
That is the.
I call that
telltale.
3 inches short. Oh no, the line judges agreed with that. It's horrible.
That was a 3-inch short fist pump.
Well, he doesn't fist pump ever on a serve, so when he does it, you know it wasn't good. Naughty caught up in congestion over there, goes back to the back wall, flips it up.
Oh. Naughty just completely stops moving his feet there. Sometimes when the ball is moving that slow, your feet stop. I don't think that's the right score. I believe it's 17-1.
That's what I thought I heard right there.
Can't hear the referee too well. That's a great serve right there. And Naughty gets it back, goes Eric Hilgren, and unable to get the next one.
You're just piling on the very flattering comments today.
That is flattering. I mean, that's
is.
what Eric does, right, on every serve.
18-1.
18-1 now.
And a terrible error. Luis Moreno lists his favorite ever players as Sean Lenning, Alan Garner, Toddy Silveira, Paul Brady, and John Yu.
I was wondering.
Wow.
I said, he's got just about everyone else.
He named every player that plays handball.
I had my fingers crossed.
It could have worked the opposite way, right?
Oof, that was almost a very damaging blow to my psyche.
Well, I wouldn't have announced it had you not been on that
See,
list.
that's I'm used to. That's the only way the other David would have announced it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of champions on this list.
There's
There's one
been a-
omission.
Been a lot of talk of how similar Luis Moreno is to Toddy Silveira. For those of us who watch Toddy Silveira, we see those striking similarities.
21-1.
And John, what is, as a confidant and a sort of a coach to Naughty Jr., what do you tell him after a match like this? I mean, I don't think he's ever lost
Yeah,
this badly.
I think you're right. Not for one game once in a while, but he's probably never experienced this before. And I mean, he's got the right attitude. Handball's place in his life right now. I don't have to say anything. He's got his wife and family. You'll probably see him on the social scene with us tonight. That's one benefit.
I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword when you have that perspective, because when you have that perspective, you're probably not going to win.
Yeah, you're not going to bring your best game.
Because guys like Paul Brady and Emmett and Luis, I mean, these are guys that it's not, handball is the most important thing.
Yeah, Naughty's had a time like that in his life, and I did, but it's fine over here on this side too.
22-1.
22 serves 1. Moreno not going to that left serve again.
Oof.
Moreno just looks really just bright, full of energy in this strange air we have up here at Mile High City.
Well, talking to some of the spectators here, they say, well, altitude affects everyone differently, and maybe Naughty just doesn't react well to it.
Dave, I don't know how you play Luis back at home. You have an amazing serve, a real amazing power serve. I don't. I play Luis with all lob serves. Do you do that back at home at all?
No. And that's the match. Luis Moreno, not much you can say. I mean, the scoreboard pretty much says it all. He was completely dominant.
I mean, Dave, this is one of those performances where you're Naughty, you start reconsidering.
I don't want to put words in Naughty's mouth, but I would have to think that,
But I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I'm not gonna even go there.
Okay.
Naughty's a great player.
John, this is one of those matches where if you were Naughty, you start
I'm sorry. You start doing what? Spell it out for me.
Thinking about the big R.
I don't know.
You mean the big senior race for 8?
Yeah, the big SR 48.
Oh, I'll tell you, I just did that an hour ago, and it feels great. It's a great feeling.
You
so
retired, John.
If he consults me on that,
okay.
What do you think?
You're the wrong guy to talk to.
I'm very biased in favor of that at this moment, because I just know.
We are going to take a break. We have handball action coming up later this afternoon. In fact, we have, I believe, a junior clinic at 12 o'clock, which is in about 30 minutes. We'll be on this court. Senior semis will take place at 1 o'clock. A guy by the name of Matthew McLaughlin. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is going to go up against another guy at 1 o'clock. And then at 2, it'll be Bear Maring and I believe Andy Shad, right?
Yeah, Shad won easily.
Okay, so Bear Maring, Andy Shad will be playing their semifinal at 2 o'clock. So that's that one guy, and Matt McLaughlin, must be an Irish guy. He will be on at 1 o'clock. That's Mountain Time on this live broadcast for the seniors as they heat up here. Make sure to stick close for that. Luis Moreno just walks right through Nadi Alvarado, 25-1. And now he is going to face Paul Brady in the upper bracket semifinals. People at home are saying, you know, this should be a final, and we're going to see it in the semis, and they're kind of upset about that. Well, it's a random draw, first of all. New York had a chance for Paul Brady to play Luis Moreno in the finals, but Luis lost in an early round to Robbie McCarthy, so that didn't happen. And everything's pulled out of a hat randomly. So it just came out that some of the best players that you have ever seen are in the upper bracket. And so we're going to see that semifinal come up a little later on at 3 o'clock, starting with the bottom bracket with Emmett Pichot and Marco Chavez. Winner will go to the finals. Then we'll have that big Paul Brady versus Luis Moreno at 4 o'clock. For John Bike, Dave Fink, Linda Manning, Jeff Kastner, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll have more handball a little later on. Thanks for listening and tuning in, watching here at racefor8.com.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
To be a perfect parent.
There are two people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean.